What's up, Jive Turkeys? I'm Jeremy, and I stole Ian Elliott Carter of the Controversity's intro because it's Thanksgiving, man, and I thought that would be kind of festive. I don't know if it's racist, but I hope not.
How's Jive Turkeys racist?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I used to work at Subway. I've told this story to a million people. Maybe I've told it to you. And there was an older black gentleman that was coming through the line at Subway, and he ordered a turkey. And the guy, Rick, that was the manager working on duty at the time, he said, turkey, something like that. Because basically you are questioning and confirming the order at one time. It's just a stupid thing that we would do. Chicken teriyaki, chicken teriyaki, chicken teriyaki. And then we would do the thing. And the guy just stopped dead in his tracks. I love that I said ahead of time that we're not editing this at all. And now I'm already just like, getting into the controversial stuff. He said, "What did you just call me?" And Rick was like, "I didn't call you anything. I just said that you wanted a turkey." And he's like, "You called me a jive turkey." And Rick was like so embarrassed and called out. But maybe this is a context situation where normally it's not racist, but if you just say it to some random older black gentleman at line in Subway, it might come off as racist.
I searched, is jive turkey racist? No.
Okay, good. So we can keep the intro.
According to the internet.
Okay, good enough. I mean, this is according to the internet. Ian says it all the time, so you know what I mean? It must be okay. Oh man. We're gonna talk about some weird news headlines like we did last week, which I'm actually really enjoying. Oh, this is Caleb, by the way. I'm Jeremy. Welcome.
Yeah, this is unedited. Pre-record's recording really well.
Yeah. Hope you guys are having a good Thanksgiving so far. I'm sure at this point in the day, you are probably super stuffed. You might or might not be watching football. I'm not exactly clear on when football happens, but I know it happens on Thanksgiving.
And I know it's the Lions usually play, right?
Yeah. Normally versus the Tigers.
Is that how it is?
I have no idea. No, wait.
The Bears just watch?
Yeah. Man. So, I mean, I'm not a big sports ball guy, but on Thanksgiving, a little football is nice. A little Macy's Day Thanksgiving parade is nice. You got your food. You're hanging out with family. I'm sure you guys are all having a good time. If you're out of town while you're watching this, let us know where you're at in the super chat or in the chats in the chat section. I'm like, throw that with the super chat. Because I'm curious if everybody went on vacation, if you went to see family, if you're staying at home this year, y'all let us know what your plans are. I can tell you right now that we went out and we enjoyed the Fish House traditional Thanksgiving this afternoon at about 2:45 p.m. and it was delicious. Caleb, what did you do?
Okay, before we do this, I'm running it back. So do you watch any sports at all?
Nah.
Okay, I only watch MMA, which is and kickboxing because I just love martial arts. I didn't know if you watched anything.
Okay, I grew up watching UFC. We've talked a little bit about that before. I grew up watching UFC when it was like on VHS, all the down and dirty MMA
people's teeth
stuff.
Flying out.
Yeah, for sure. And I love boxing. I grew up watching Roy Jones Jr. in particular, Mike Tyson. I was a little young for, but he was in the house as I was growing up. So yeah, watching people beat the crap out of each other is fun. I kind of enjoy hockey for the same reason. I'm a very pacifist myself, but watching other people just rock each other is fun. Yeah.
What do you think about Mike Tyson coming back?
I think that Mike ain't got it, man. I think that Mike ain't got it.
Dude, I was the same thing. I'm like, he's way too old. But watching him in his training video, I was damn impressed.
Oh, he's a monster. If he catches Roy with one of his famous uppercuts, like a right uppercut,
it's done.
But Roy Jones never stopped boxing. Like, he's a trainer and a coach. He was lifetime boxer. He never went to Hollywood. He never started a podcast. He never did anything but box. He's got a couple of years younger than Tyson. I think he's got a few inches reach on him, if I'm not mistaken, and his technique is flawless. He is the most graceful boxer I've ever seen, and he's going to dance around Mike Tyson.
Well, that's the thing, is all the greats, in my opinion, are the people who, even in MMA, like a lot of people, like my favorite fighter right now is Israel Adesanya. he people go, he's boring. He doesn't really get in there and scrap. I'm like, because he's a good fighter. Good fighters don't just stand in the ring and get the shit beat out of them. The goal is to hit the person as much as possible
without getting hit. Correct.
Yeah.
But dude, do you remember what I mean? I wish I could share a video with you right now. But Roy would put his hands behind his back and lean in with his chin. And the second they swung, he would cock back and just unload an arsenal of combos on him. And it was something to behold, man. Plus, Roy Jones Jr. is from Pensacola. He is a...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a native. I've met him a handful of times. I would, if I ran into him at Walmart today, he would not know who I was, obviously. But every time we see Roy Jones, you're like, oh my God, because he's pound for pound, I believe, the greatest boxer of all time.
Over Mayweather?
Mayweather is actually a really good kind of outside the box pick.
I gotta go Mayweather. I don't like Mayweather as a person. I cannot stand him. It's kind of the same way I feel about John Jones in MMA. Don't like him as a person, but those two they're talented, man. Mayweather's another guy who just doesn't get touched.
I kind of would love to see Mike Tyson rock Roy Jones that one time that knocked him out, because there's no way that Roy Jones is winning by knockout. It's going to be a technical match, and at the end, once they decide who won, Roy Jones is going to walk away with the victory. But there's no way he's putting Mike Tyson on his ass. That's just not going to happen.
No, I don't think so. As we've turned this now into a combat sports podcast.
Yeah. People are going to be like, what even is this, dude? All right. We'll switch gears. I mean, we're talking random stuff today. We've got all sorts of terrible content. And if you enjoy random and you enjoy terrible, then I suggest you clicking that little subscribe button followed by the bell to enable notifications. That way you can stay up to date with all of the terrible content, and you will know every time a new video drops. But we're dropping new episodes of Movies Are Terrible live right here on the channel every Thursday at 6 p.m. CST. It don't matter if there's a holiday going on. I mean, rain or shine, holiday or not, pandemic or social gatherings, we're going to be dropping podcasts every Thursday at 6 p.m. CST. So you guys make sure that you are liking, commenting, and this is something that I don't see very often, but it would be really cool to see some of you guys share a video that you like on social media, because that's a huge solid.
That helps more than anything. As much as I appreciate comments and likes, if you really want to help us out, sharing is the best thing you could possibly do.
It's the hardest sell too, because now all of a sudden you are tying our brand to your personal life outside of YouTube.
Really? Is that how that works?
Well, I guess, because if I come to Double Toasted and I leave a comment, my grandmother doesn't know that I was watching Double Toasted, but if I share a link to Double Toasted on Facebook, then all of a sudden everybody that I know is like, so Jeremy must really endorse everything that they say on Double Toasted.
Everything they say. I think crazy people think that, but I think most people understand you don't endorse everything that you share.
Did you just call my grandmother crazy, bro?
Well, I'm assuming she's crazy. She's old.
she's very old. She's not quite crazy yet, but the last couple years you can slowly see the slide. But she's still with it for a 90-year-old man.
90, man, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Speaking of content, I wanted to give a shout out to someone who watches us, and hopefully he's here right now, is Martial Arts Film Freak.
Yeah.
I went and checked out his content. Incredible. So, and I've talked about it here, I don't sub to anyone. I'm horrible. I don't check out people's videos. I just don't. And I just checked his out because I love martial arts. Genuinely subscribed because I enjoy his content and want to support him. Not because he's a cool person, but honestly because I genuinely think he makes incredible content. So I would definitely go check him out if you guys haven't.
You know how I've never heard you say that about?
Huh.
Ian Elliott Carter of the Controversity.
Ian's my boy. I've watched 2 episodes of Ian's though. He's my boy though.
No, I know. You've never watched my shit. I'm just playing around.
Dude, I've never, I lie. What did I watch of yours one time?
Whatever it was, it must have been a real banger.
It was something that you actually did put a lot of editing into. It was like a vampire video or something.
Oh, okay. One of my movie monster videos.
Yeah, it was something I was like, oh, this dude put a lot of work into it. This is super high polished.
I'm currently working on a Godzilla 2014 video titled "Is It Terrible?" where I go through and I list complaints, criticisms, I shouldn't say complaints, positives and negatives by critics across the film space from IMDb to Rotten Tomatoes, and I kind of address them point by point. And I run it all through this website called wordcounter.net, and it'll show you how many words, how many times you repeat the same words, the actual length of reading the copy versus reading it out loud. And I've got a 30-minute essay written that I've got to actually record, edit, and then start putting graphics to. So, like, this is a gargantuan undertaking for a 7-year-old movie that people weren't really all that wild about in the first place.
I respect anyone who puts that much effort, because even on the Caleb's Movie Corner, that is so low effort. I just wing it and then put clips in.
It works. It works, and it's casual. It's naturalistic. It's not edited to death, which a lot of people do go that direction. So it just depends on what kind of content you like. But what did you think about Godzilla 2014? Did you ever see it?
2014 is the one with what's his name? Bryan Cranston?
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I didn't love it, but I liked it.
So, yeah, I don't want to bury the entire results or whatever, but I am a very big fan of the visual storytelling in Godzilla 2014, and the characters aren't the best, but I go in and I discuss a lot of the differences, between expectations versus what we actually got. And I think it's hilarious for, like, Godzilla fans, like Godzilla fans who love the Toho movies, to complain about the storyline of the 2014 Godzilla movie. I'm like, are you kidding me?
We'll get into this later, but with Predator, I have very similar feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Predator.
Yeah, we are going to talk a little bit about Predator. We're going to talk a little bit about, so like I said, weird news headlines. We got some movie news and entertainment stuff, including some Chappelle show news. And then also, we're going to close this off with something that should be fun. I'm actually kind of stealing this idea from Bad Friends, the Bad Friends podcast with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. It's one of my favorite podcasts. It comes out every Monday morning, and it is hilarious. But I saw them just kind of randomly taking a Thanksgiving quiz, so I'm curious to see how both of us do on it. It's one of those like BuzzFeed things where it gives you the multiple choice and then you click on the answer. So I don't have them on my side. You obviously don't have them on your side. We're going to see how much we know about American history.
Okay, sounds good.
How do you think you're going to do on that? Just curious.
Horrible.
Yeah, same.
No, I mean, I'm like okay with history, but I'm not incredible.
Yeah, dude, turkeys are the most disgusting looking animal in the world. Why are their heads so fucked up looking?
I don't know. It's like someone put a vagina on a penis. That's what it is. You merged them together.
It is. And then stuck that on top of a bird.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Like, who looked at that? I'm going to eat that. That looks like a good animal to eat.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Did you hear that they found a monolith in the Utah desert?
I actually did. Before you even sent it to me, I did see the story.
So that's pretty interesting. Well, I mean, there's multiple theories about what it could be, but this is from NPR.com, and it says, the headline, large metal monolith mysteriously appears in remote region of Utah's Red Rock country. So this is in a very remote place, and it was discovered by, if I'm not mistaken, like state officials were flying over looking for sheep. They were counting sheep apparently, and one of the theories is that they just fell asleep up there and that they dreamed that they found this monolith. But yeah, it's this really interesting. I mean, it's not all that interesting. It's just like a chrome cylinder, kind of squared, maybe triangle, sitting in this really unusual spot out there. I mean,
it's
what
very
do you think, man?
2001 Space Odyssey is what it very much reminds me of.
Oh yeah. Everybody's calling it a monolith. I swore they were obelisks on. No, they were monoliths. So that is the 2001 Space Odyssey name, and that is exactly what they look like. Or that funky robot from Interstellar.
Still haven't seen Interstellar.
It's just that. It's just this weird.
I've seen it in changes. I've seen the clips.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, if it were in the middle of like a department store, I would think it was a mirror. I don't know. Like, it wouldn't seem out of place anywhere industrial or like commercial, but out here in the middle of all these, organic, natural structures with not anything for miles and miles around. Is it an art installation? Is it a movie prop? Is it extraterrestrial? What do you say?
It's probably like an art thing that they probably put out there and took pictures of it for something, or maybe like an album cover or something like that, and then just left it.
Bro, that's exactly what because the image that I'm looking at, it looks like it probably was shared to Instagram because it's square, and it does look like a old U2 album cover or something.
Yeah, it looks like an album cover or like something with a model. Do you know what the real story here for me was that was even more crazy than the Monolith?
No.
Is there's people who fly around in helicopters and count sheep.
Seems like a dangerous job.
That seems, I'm like, this. I didn't even know Utah had that many sheep.
No, I didn't either. I guess the pilot wouldn't be the one counting the sheep, though, because then it would be incredibly dangerous. It's like, you got a narcoleptic pilot up there in the first place, and now you got him counting sheep. He's going to crash. But then there's some pictures of him, and these aren't like whatever you guys are thinking of sheep, these ain't those. These look like, I would have thought they were rams.
I didn't see the pictures did they show the pictures of the Utah sheep?
Well, Utah Highway Patrol posted an image of them kind of like running as they're being probably counted by this helicopter. Bighorn sheep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they do look more like rams.
They're cool looking. But yeah, when I think sheep, I don't think horns. I think wool, big furry things, and these aren't those.
Did you ever see the sheep movie that's pretty much a zombie movie?
Yeah, Black Sheeps.
Yes.
Of course I did, yeah.
New Zealand, yeah.
Classic. It's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's decent. I enjoyed it.
As for the would-be visitors, officials decided not to disclose the exact location of the monolith, so they know where it's at, but they're not telling anyone where it's at because, quote, there's a significant possibility they may become stranded and require rescue.
I hope... This is horrible. I do actually hope we have a follow-up story where that's the headline.
Yeah. Instagram model airlifted out of a fucking crater.
Trying to do a selfie.
Yeah. Dude, and then there's another funny picture where it is two of these officials and like one of them standing on the other guy's shoulders to like look onto the top of it to, I guess, like inspect to see if there's any inscriptions on the top. But I saw like bolts in the side of it, which I don't know what it was, but just seeing that they had to screw it together like demystified the whole thing to me. I'm like, that was clearly built, but like, no shit. It was, I mean, like, what else would it be?
Yeah, I don't think it's actually, aliens dropping this.
Is it possible that something was flying overhead, not a UFO, like just some cargo plane, and that thing like fell out the back and just landed perfectly into the ground?
Everything's possible. It's highly, highly improbable.
Yeah, when you say possible, that really does just open the door for pretty much anything. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was interesting, though. Anything else?
It's tangentially alien related. That's why you were excited about it.
Correct. So I thought it was at least worth bringing up. Okay.
So I have a story for you that is kind of movie related, too.
Okay.
So a website is offering $2,500 to watch 25 holiday films in 25 days.
Oh yeah, that's what you sent me. Okay, who's paying me to watch 25 movies in 25 days?
So it's a website that does reviews for electronics.
Okay.
And they're only going to pick like one person. You can apply. I think they're going to choose on, you can apply, are being accepted through December 4th. And the winner will be announced December 7th. You will, if you do this, they choose you and then you do it. It's reviews.org. You will receive $2,500, a year-long subscription to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Apple TV.
So now we're getting up to easily $2,750.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, like, you and me we watch 25 movies a month.
Yeah,
this would
let's
perfect
be
for
real.
either of us.
Can you imagine the fat fucks that are applying for this thing, right? I want to do it. And that's why, like you said, they can't let everybody who would do it because there's a lot of people that would do it.
Dude, I would sign up for it.
Oh, yeah.
For $2,500? Cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do it right now.
Is it holiday movies? Do you have to watch Christmas movies?
Yeah, it's all Christmas movies.
And they pick them?
They pick pre-selected holiday classics, including Elf, It's a Wonderful Life, Polar Express, Home Alone, and more.
Have you seen all those on that list? I mean, not the and more, but the other ones?
Polar Express I haven't seen.
I know you've heard by reputation that movie's horrifying.
I just heard, it's that Uncanny Valley thing.
Yeah. They did that one, and they did A Christmas Carol, and they never did it again. Well, no, they did Polar Express, Christmas Carol, and Beowulf, and all three of them just
horrible.
Aged like ass. Yeah, dude.
No, I actually really like the Christmas Carol version.
You do?
Yeah, it's darker and weirder. I feel like I just wish it wasn't that weird CG.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm with you there. I agree with you. Have you seen Scrooged before?
Oh yeah, of course. I watch it every year.
I really like Scrooged, and I don't know what it is, but that like anti-consumerism speech that he gives with a Pepsi in his hand at the end, where he's all like crying
hilarious.
and stuff. It makes me so mad. Like
Why?
It's just so insincere. Yeah.
Well, is that the point? Isn't that the point? Isn't that the joke? Is there he gives that anti-consumerism speech while holding a Pepsi?
I don't know that he's actually holding a Pepsi in it, but it's just such a product placement filled movie that I assume that he is. Maybe I need to rewatch it. Maybe I just wasn't in on the joke, but when I watched it, I saw Bill Murray going for an Oscar, and this is pre-working with Sofia Coppola, where he wasn't quite Oscar caliber actor yet.
The Bill Murray we know today.
Right. Yeah. He was fresh off of Caddyshack, Bill Murray.
Yeah, this is like Kevin Hart going for an Oscar.
Yeah.
You know?
Didn't he play like an orderly to Bryan Cranston who was like a paraplegic in a movie?
Yeah, he did. I never saw it.
Nah, me neither.
I'm assuming it's a comedy though, right? Or is it like an actual drama?
That'd be a very controversial comedy. It's got to be a drama.
Dude, with Kevin Hart?
That's what I'm saying. I think what is it called? Reign Over Me is the one with Will Smith in it.
Kevin Hart, Bryan Cranston. Because I just assumed it was a comedy. Like maybe a dramedy at best.
Okay, I'll go with that.
The Upside.
Drama
/ comedy, it says.
So dramedy. Yeah, you can't make a movie like that just a comedy, though, I don't think.
Do you think you can't?
I mean, I don't know, but I don't think so.
I think you can. I support this.
I mean, yeah. No, don't try to box me in as one of these people who are not all right with comedy, bro. Like, I'm good with comedy. Speaking of that though, did you see the Kevin Hart thing the other day?
His new stand-up in his house?
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched it yet. I saw the trailer, but that was it.
Have you ever seen a Kevin Hart thing that you liked?
I love old Kevin Hart stand-up.
Okay.
When it used to be more about like family and like his life and how big of a loser he was and about like not how unmasculine he was, then I feel like now it's kind of like, hey, I'm rich and cool, and it's just not as funny.
Yeah. I've never been a fan of him. I've seen a couple movies that I enjoyed him in. He seems like a nice enough person. His stand-up is not necessarily for me, so I haven't watched it.
His old stand-up to me is brilliant, but like his newer stuff, as it got less from his family stuff, didn't care for it as much.
So speaking of martial arts film freak, I just now pulled up a video earlier this morning from UPI.com. And it is a martial artist using his head to open 150 plus bottles. I'm pretty sure it's like 168. Oh, no.
That's a random number.
Under 100. Well, under 100. 68 bottle caps in 1 minute. So that's over a bottle cap a second. Which, I mean, that's pretty impressive, bro.
He's using his head?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I thought we were going to be able to screen share. But I'm watching it now on my end. Just
I am too.
react, like act like you're watching it with. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So he's holding it toward the edge of a table and hitting his head against it.
Yeah, I thought maybe a twist off kind of situation. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's actually a little less impressive.
It is.
I mean, it's still Psycho, but
very precise. I mean,
Have you seen these videos of like martial arts masters fighting UFC fighters?
No.
Dude, it's so incredible.
Wait, incredible in that the martial arts masters get destroyed?
Get destroyed within like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Tai Chi is not the sport that's gonna.
Yeah, they'll be like Wing Chun. I'm like, that stuff worked at a time. It is incredible in films, you know?
Yeah.
In a real fight, you're gonna get destroyed. So they're like trying to dodge people, but they're just like punching them in the face. It's amazing.
I was watching something. Oh man, shit. I'm not gonna be able to come up with it now. I'm not gonna be able to pull it, but it was. Oh wow, I pulled it. Okay, so on Better Call Saul, Mike. Have you ever seen Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul?
I've seen the entire series of Breaking Bad. Most of it was filmed right around me.
You know Mike, then the old guy, the bald guy?
Yeah.
Mike is the shit, and he's one of the big characters in Better Call Saul.
The hitman, right?
Yes. I love Better Call Saul, dude.
Is it good? I've never watched it.
It's so very good and so hard to watch at the same time because it's really slow. Like, we are 4.5 seasons in and have probably been watching it for 2 years. So it's not exactly like oh my God, I gotta finish. Yeah. But it's so very good. But Mike is at some blue collar type job, maybe like a mechanic shop, and the two guys are fighting over who would win in a fight, Bruce Lee or Muhammad Ali. And Mike just, he overhears the conversation. He's not really participating, but before he walks out, he's like, dude, Muhammad Ali in a second. You know what I mean?
Would you agree with that assessment too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Bruce Lee is a lot of things, man. One of the greats, absolutely. But he was not this unstoppable force. Like, a lot of people would have whooped Bruce Lee's ass.
Well, and that's like even someone that I personally like better than Bruce Lee is Jackie Chan. Love Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
I think Bruce Lee would have beat Jackie Chan up. Yeah.
You think Bruce Lee would have beat Jackie Chan up?
Yeah. I feel like Bruce Lee was less flair. Jackie Chan is great on camera. You know? Mm-hmm. Like, he's great for the stunts. And that's why, I've seen pretty much every Jackie Chan film, with a few exceptions of his newer ones, but incredible. Like, Jackie Chan might be my favorite actor of all time, but he's comes from that, Peking opera. That's where his background's from. It's theatrical. Yeah. And I feel like even Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee was a student of Ip Man, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he actually studied like Wing Chun, like for actual combat.
Mm-hmm. Developed Jeet Kune Do, I'm pretty sure as well.
Yeah. So like, I think Jackie Chan's better, but he's even more farther removed from actual combat than Bruce Lee was, and Muhammad Ali is an actual, fighter.
100%. This Thanksgiving, tune in to Movies Are Terrible Live and talk about dudes beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, I don't know how this ended up being a fighting podcast.
So, David, Mr. David Chappelle, everybody's favorite comic, David Chappelle. Apparently, he is embroiled in a new controversy. He is asking fans, if you have ever been a fan of David Chappelle, if you have ever liked anything that he has done or support him as a person, do not watch Chappelle Show on HBO Max. Netflix was airing episodes of The Chappelle Show, older episodes. Obviously, there's no new episodes, but just started airing episodes of The Chappelle Show. It immediately went into top 10 trending on Netflix, and people were super excited. I've got friends that were rewatching it. I haven't revisited it because I could literally recite the entire 2 seasons or, and then the lost episodes or whatever. Like, I know that shit like the back of my hand, but it started trending, and then David Chappelle released, I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday at time of recording, he had an Instagram kind of stand-up special where he started talking about this stuff candidly and how when he signed the contract with Comcast, he basically signed away the rights to his name, and now they're able to distribute it on streaming services and him not make any money for it. So he did this stand-up special to appeal to his fans, and then he contacted first he contacted Netflix and he said, "Hey, this is David Chappelle. Take that down. I would appreciate it." And they said, cool. All right. Yeah, no problem. Well, HBO Max didn't do the same. And the thing is, they have no legal obligation to. What do you think about this scenario?
So, first of all, I highly doubt that the Netflix thing was just like, oh, yeah, cool. If it was, it's because he has all these Netflix specials with him that do gangbusters.
Yeah, right.
They have they're not doing this out of the kindness of their heart. They have a financial reason to back Dave Chappelle. That's why Netflix did it.
Netflix has gotten to be a much more premium stand-up streaming service than a lot of the other streaming services, and I think to keep comics in their good graces could have also played a factor in it.
That's a good point. Yeah, because to me, I mean, that is the place for stand-up comedy now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he signed his rights away.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is. That's how it works. You know, a lot of people, some actors get paid depending on the movie residuals every time it's sold, depending on how their contract was. Sometimes they don't. You know?
I'm of mixed feelings about it because 99 times out of 100, I have to back the artists over the artists versus the evil corporations. Like, of course I'm going to back the artists. I connect more with them than I do the shareholders, the executives, the CEOs, all of that kind of stuff. That's out of my wheelhouse or whatever. So I always, as a rule of thumb, tend to back the artists. Understanding that Dave Chappelle screwed up, dude. He signed a contract, and this is what the fact that Netflix backed down is what's the story here. That's what's crazy to me. But like you said, it probably wasn't just simply out of the kindness of their heart. I would imagine a big part of it is optics. Dave Chappelle recently, within the past year or 2 years, again has had this massive resurgence in cultural cachet, which is awesome. I love Dave Chappelle. I think he's fantastic. But don't cry about money when you did sign the contract, and you also signed a contract with Comedy Central for, I mean, millions and millions of dollars back in the day. It ain't like he's hurting. It's not like he's one of these poor exploited artists that is just getting screwed out of every dime they make. Like, you look at Pablo Picasso or Vincent van Gogh, these artists who are the most renowned in the world for what they did, who died penniless. And it's like Dave Chappelle is not in that situation. So, like, cry me a river, dude.
The co-creator of Batman.
Bill Finger, yeah.
Bill Finger, yeah. Like, he died penniless alone in a one-bedroom apartment.
Yep. And was entitled to, I mean, Batman's one of the most iconic IPs out there.
Ever.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, also, too, here's another thing, and I don't know how all these contracts could work. So do you know who Neil Brennan is?
Yes.
So co-creator, also great stand-up of Chappelle's show. I don't know what Neil Brennan's deal is. Maybe he still has some rights to it. By pulling it off Netflix, they could actually be screwing Neil Brennan or other people who worked on the show. He could actually be screwing actual starving artists. I don't know. This is all hypothetical. I don't know what their contracts look like either.
So what you're saying is, if that contract was skewed to where Neil Brennan could have potentially been getting a back-end deal. Yeah, right.
Like, maybe he was getting residuals on it. I don't know. Or someone else was, or some producer.
That's interesting.
Now it could have screwed them over. I mean, this is all outsider. I don't know what any of these contracts look like.
Right.
I don't know. I'm like, you signed your rights away. It sucks, but that's how it works. You're, like you said, you're not starving. You're signing crazy contracts with Netflix that are well deserved. I mean, I think he's one of the greatest comedians of our generation.
Yep.
Very well deserved contracts.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it's a tough situation because I, again, on the side of the artist, and I 100% support his decision to go out and say boycott my stuff.
Yep.
But I also
agree with that,
100% support the consumer that's like, screw you, dude. You know, I pay my money for this subscription service every month. I'm going to watch whatever I want to because you signed the contract, not me.
Yep.
Anyways,
I agree.
So yeah, as you can tell, we're like, it's nothing super cut and dry. Mad respect to Dave Chappelle. He should have read his contract better.
And yeah, he's one of the greats. I have nothing but to say but good with him.
Same. So Dan Trachtenberg, not somebody that I know outside of his work on 10 Cloverfield Lane. I know that he wrote that script as a film conceived as The Cellar, and it was purchased by Bad Robot, and J.J. Abrams sort of retooled that story, The Cellar, into what we got as 10 Cloverfield Lane, which had very little to do with Cloverfield. However, it was a fucking awesome movie, I thought. I was very, very into it. I thought the writing was smart. The performances were very good. And all of that said to say that now he is attached to Disney to make a new Predator movie. Isn't that crazy?
It's just so weird to hear that Disney making a Predator movie.
It is, and that's not the only one. We'll talk about another here in a minute. But a couple years ago, as you guys know, Shane Black, who was a actor, one of the stars in the original Predator, and also a beloved director. I mean, he did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and, Iron Man 3, but there was that other one. Oh, The Nice Guys, which was awesome. It had Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling in it.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and Nice Guys are both incredible.
Both so very good. And Iron Man 3's all right. I'll give it that. I'm not going to take that away from it. I get that people like it. Predator 2018, it's a hot piece of steaming poo.
I agree with this, but I also say so are all the other Predators.
All of the other Predators?
Maybe Robert Rodriguez one's okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see you, man. You're going to go.
But I love this is coming from a person who's a massive fan of Predator. And you're going to honestly tell me that the first Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator with cheesy one-liners is not a hot mess.
Dude, it is. Yes, I am going to tell you that. It is a tightly constructed subversion of the slasher film. Instead of having hot co-ed high school teens, you've got the most equipped and well-adapted people for this scenario. I mean, it's not Michael Myers out there either. This is like this game-hunting sci-fi alien that just comes to Earth for the specific sport of it, which, look at photos of Don Jr. or any of these other rich assholes who just like go to foreign places to go kill the stuff there. And so I think the Predator, that seems like a reasonable thing to do. He shows up here on Earth, and it starts off as like a war movie, almost like Commando or something, and then it turns into like this horror movie. It is definitely cheesy, but I think you are selling it short simply because of the way that I think what you're missing is the way that it hybridized genres that hadn't really been done before that.
There's been other hybrid films way before that,
yeah.
Horror comedy, all of them. But it was just literally like, Delta Force and all those other, and I hate this movie sounds super
Alien.
Like male power fantasy movies. But,
say that again real quick.
The what? Male power fantasy?
It's a soundbite right there.
But it's one of those things that at the time this came out, the reviews for the first Predator were not good.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah, everyone agreed it's a bad movie because it's a bad movie. But then a bunch of dumb kids like us loved it because we're dumb kids. And then we grew up loving it because we saw it when we were kids. And the new one that came out, that Shane Black remake, is the closest thing to a true spiritual, tonal successor to that original film.
Bro.
I agree. It's a hot mess, but it's the closest. It feels more like it than the Robert Rodriguez one does.
You are making me fucking heated right now, bro. I just want you to know that.
This is coming because I think you and me both agree. Love Predator. Like, I adore this film.
I'm sniffling over here. It's a good movie. No, okay. First Predator,
Okay, so
good movie.
Predator versus Alien. Are we going to say those are the same quality of films?
Wait, what?
Like Predator, the original Predator, and the original Alien.
Oh no,
Are
no,
we saying
no,
those?
no, no.
Exactly.
No. But okay.
The camp sure.
Okay. Alternately, are we gonna say Predator is equal to Mac and Me?
I don't even know what Mac and Me is.
Exactly. No. I mean, what's another dumb? Like actually bad movie? Commando. Is Commando in the same?
Oh, I think are great. Those are very, very similar films.
Man, damn. All right. That's fine. It's fine. We'll put a pin in this for now.
It's funny because we're arguing a movie that we both love.
I think the Predators, though, the Robert Rodriguez one, I feel like that's a pretty good take on the material. I hated the Alien versus Predator movies.
Oh, it's so bad.
I really need to revisit Predator 2. Do you have strong feelings on Predator 2? Because I haven't seen
Predator
it
2.
in years.
Dude, go back and watch it. It's not bad like people say. It's another Predator movie.
Oh man. So anyways, yeah, I didn't like Adrian Brody's gravelly voice in the Predators, but it's fine.
Adrian Brody, I think, is a great actor if he's not trying to be a tough guy.
Yeah, he was not the dude
when
for
they
that
tried
role.
to do this like very brief thing where they're like, we're gonna make Adrian Brody like action star, and it was like, no, you're not.
Yeah, the audience was like, that not happening.
No, I think he's a great actor. You're not the action star.
Shane Black's Predator, I can see where you're coming from in that it has the kind of same level of machismo / cheesy one-liners that the original did. I think
Vagina
Shane Black
jokes in it, just like the original.
Yeah. Oh, dude, what was that? Shane Black's joke in the original.
It's as
Predator.
big as a house.
Yeah, he said, how about a little pussy? And she said, little pussy? Mine's as big as a house.
Yeah, she goes, he goes, I just want a little pussy. And she goes, me too. Mine's as big as a house.
Okay. And then there was the other one that was like, I need some pussy. And then it was like something about the echo. You remember that one? Oh, man.
Is it in the original?
Yeah. It's the other Shane Black pussy joke. That's like his whole contribution.
Because I remember when the new one came out, people were like, it's vulgar, has vulgar humor. And I'm like, did you see the original?
Yeah. That was kind of one of the things about it. Okay. Geez, you got a big pussy. Why did you say that twice? I didn't.
Oh, yes.
See? Because the echo.
I do remember that.
Oh, so stupid.
I actually think I'm going to watch Predator this weekend on my long weekend. You got me in the mood for Predator.
Dude, that was one that you're right, though. The kids part of it plays a huge factor. Like, we would go out into the woods, and because Predator was, like, cloaked most of the time, it doesn't take much for a child's imagination to be like, there he is!
It's something in the wind blows a tree, and you can use it as Predators there.
Yeah, 100%. So,
dude, I loved it as a kid.
I am actually cautiously optimistic about a new take on the Predator because I feel like now he's got the Monday morning quarterback advantage to being like, okay, let me look at this 2018 one. Let me look at the Robert Rodriguez one. Let me look at the sequel, and let's find out what it is about these things that people are responding to versus not responding to. Now, granted, Trachtenberg was supposed to be attached to a Portal film. You guys remember the game Portal from a decade ago, probably more? And that never happened. So it's very possible that this thing's going to fall through the cracks. It happens all the time.
So here's the thing that's really hard with these franchises. And you see this with Star Wars. People go, I want a remake to feel like the original. And it's like, no, you don't want a tonal remake of the original a lot of times. What you want is a tonal remake of what you perceive the original to be.
That's a good point.
So like Star Wars, when Star Wars comes in and people are like, it's kind of campy and kiddie. I want something dark and serious. I'm like, that was never Star Wars.
Correct. Yeah.
You were just a kid when you saw it, so you interpreted it that way. And I feel like this is what Shane Black, comes from. I think he made a tonal, cheesy camp fest like the first. And people were like, well, I don't want that. And it's like, oh, you want an interpretation of what you remember that film being as, how you perceive it.
I tell you what, my problem with Predators and my problem with, what was the last one? The Predator is multiple Predators. That's why I don't like AVP. It's simple.
I agree with that. That was one because I love the AVP book and the comic book. And the whole point of that is, and this is my rant on the first, especially that first AVP. The second one's better because there's only one Predator. But logically, this bugs me. Okay. So one human can take out a ton of aliens, right? Mm-hmm. One Predator can take out a ton of humans. Therefore, like in that first Predator, there's like 5 Predators and 5 aliens. It's an even fight. It's
right.
Like, no, that logically, it just falls apart. If one Predator can take out hundreds of humans and one human can take out hundreds of aliens, a Predator can take out thousands of aliens.
And that's kind of the thing, is that xenomorphs are like bugs to get squashed. You know, like the Marines, they have tech, and that's why they're able to go in and wipe out the aliens, is because they have machine guns. They have fucking grenades, rocket launchers, whatever the thing is, where in the original Alien, the threat is that these were not soldiers. They were mechanics or whatever they were. They were cargo people. They were like truckers, you know? So they weren't... Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, and that's the thing is, the aliens, they're animals. Predators are intelligent life. That's the huge difference.
It's a really good point. One's acting on base instinct, and the other's literally doing it for fun. And that's what throws me, is like, yes, by that same logic, the whole point in a Predator coming here is for sport. And if they have to bring 5 of them to go compete against 5 people, then all of a sudden people are way too badass. Like, you need one Predator to pose a huge threat to a group of people in isolation. And it would be really difficult to just remake the original movie. So I know you have to do something different.
I want a good AVP more than anything.
You'd rather... Okay.
Because I just love that story. I love the story of that they kind of tried to throw in at the end of the first movie of like, oh, she's becoming one of the Predators. And because the whole story of the book and the comic is she meets another Predator. She hates it. They end up becoming like, you know, allies, not by like, but they hate each other the whole time. And it's kind of interesting. And then there's tons of aliens. But then that first one's bad. But I think the second one's this much more enjoyable, but it's the first just makes me angry.
I could see what was happening in the first one, and there are some shots in Requiem that are like pitch black.
Dude, AVP 2 is the darkest, and I mean actual dark movie ever. Like that movie, you can't tell what's going on in half of the scenes.
Yeah, dude, for real. And I know that's kind of become a punchline, but like, just Google some still images of Alien AVP Requiem, and you will see exactly what we're talking about. It is no joke, dude.
Like, yeah, it's bad.
I think what they were trying to do is obscure the fact that it's 2 dudes in rubber suits fighting each other. But then it's like, why are you going to go with practical effects in the first place if you're not going to let people see them? HD TVs have changed the game as far as that goes, because I was watching the last episode of Mandalorian last night, which is fucking rad, by the way. But you can see like how fake all of the walls in the Imperial ships and in the Death Star are. Like, they're just like foam, or you know what I mean, like some very stuff that they're able to just use a lot of paneling.
That's you know where the movie that had that effect on me, and your Thor Ragnarok.
Really?
Where go back and watch that movie when they're like walking through the city. It looks like a Firefly set. Like it looks like a made for TV set, because it's almost like, because of higher resolutions, you're like, this is not holding up.
Interesting. I haven't picked up on that, but I haven't looked at it with those eyes either. So I might.
It was jarring to me, honestly, in certain scenes.
Dude, The Mandalorian, like you and I, we've talked about Star Wars a handful of times, I'd say, over the years, and you know I have a complicated relationship with it.
Me too.
was very excited when they relaunched it, and since then my enthusiasm has just waned down to almost non-existent. And when I heard Mandalorian season 2 came out, I was like, all right, I'm sure that'll be fine. And the first episode in season 2 hooked me. It is awesome, some of the best Star Wars stuff ever. And then this last episode, again, some of the best Star Wars stuff ever, and the episode in between not all that great, but still good.
All my friends who are kind of like where I'm at, who are like, man, I used to be a big Star Wars fan. I'm just kind of burnt. They've all told me, no, Mandalorian's good. Like it's the one you would actually like again.
It's interesting because it doesn't try to not be the hokey thing that it was in the 70s. And I think that's why the fans have embraced it so much. It's Monster of the Week kind of storytelling. Like every episode's kind of a standalone. If you missed 2 episodes and then you jump back in, I really don't think it would matter, because every single episode's like the lone gunman, the lone cowboy comes into the small desolated town, and the tumbleweed rolls by, and then the sheriff of the town approaches him and is like, hey, we're having problems. There's engines down there stealing from the water hole, and we need you to help. And then he's like, all right, but I'll only do it for a price. And then they're like, okay, we can work something out. And then at the end, it's like, thanks for coming and saving our city or our town, Mandalorian. And then he flies off and then does the same thing again the following week. It's kind of that format of like an old Western, Well,
one of the things that interests me about Mandalorian, so one of my big gripes with current Star Wars, and this started with the prequels. So when Star Wars was out, it was like we saw the small window into the universe, but we knew there was this big expansive universe of Jedi and all this. That universe has imploded in on itself. So the universe hasn't gotten bigger for Star Wars. It's gotten smaller.
Yeah.
Now it's a story of one family, one bloodline, one Jedi.
Yep.
And I don't like that. Like the whole point of Star Wars was all the expanded universe, and they retconned it. Then they made the stories all about one bloodline. And I'm like, well, at least Mandalorian is expanding back out that universe.
Yeah. Until every motherfucker from Star Wars shows up in the background somewhere, and you're like, wait, how did you get there? But they do it well.
I feel like that's why I kind of liked Han Solo, the Solo film. Even though I had a lot of problems with it, I enjoyed it. Yeah. It's like, okay, it's not a Jedi story.
Boba Fett came rolling up at the end of episode 2, man. Or at the end of episode 1. Like, Boba Fett unmasked.
When does this take place in the timeline?
Like 20 years after the OT.
Oh, okay.
So between OT and sequels.
So Boba Fett climbs out of the Sarlacc pit. Are they still using that?
It hasn't. It did not show him climb out of the Sarlacc pit, but he must have, because what's his name? Timothy Oliphant is the sheriff of this town, and he's wearing Boba Fett's helmet and his armor, but he's clearly not Mandalorian, because the minute that Mando meets him, he takes his helmet off, and he's like, where did you get that helmet from? Mandalorians never take their helmets off. And at the very end of the episode, as this cruiser is like flying away from Tatooine, you just see, I don't remember what the actor's name is, but he like stands up kind of out from behind a dune or some shit, and you're like, oh, there he is, but he hadn't shown back up yet. But it's interesting, man. Like I'm into it, but like I didn't watch the new episode the night that it dropped or something like that. It's like when I get around to it and Victoria's not around, I'm gonna sit down and watch it.
Yeah, that's, I feel like, how all content is now, though. It's like I just watch things when I can now.
Yeah. So Yoda ate a macaroon on the last episode. This little green macaroon. What did I just say? Baby Yoda? Sorry. The child ate a little green macaroon in the last episode, and now Disney proper is selling them for like $50 for a 10-count package of Yoda macaroons.
I thought he ate some. People are like, I saw some cat thing about where he ate another baby or something, some controversy.
Yeah, I mean, in the way that if you eat scrambled eggs, you're eating a baby. It was such a bullshit controversy. But yes, there was 2 weeks ago. Somebody sent me a link to, my buddy Josh sent me a link to a story, and he was heated about it. That's a whole different conversation. But that's what happens a lot. Is some schmuck for clicks post something controversial, and then other schmucks for clicks are like, did you hear that there's an outrage about this thing? And then the people who are supposed to be outraged aren't as outraged as the people that are outraged that the other people are outraged. Some person who wrote for The Atlantic or something like that posted an article and was like, I didn't like that Baby Yoda ate this other alien's unfertilized egg. It was disturbing, something like that. And then the whole thing was...
I thought he I just saw a headline. I thought he ate an actual baby the way they made it sound.
No, it's like if you pulled a yolk out of... When I watched it, I'm not going to lie, I had a very fleeting thought of like, damn, that Yoda just ate one of the last of that whole entire bloodline of alien creatures.
Was it an intelligent animal?
Yeah. It looks like a lizard, but it's like a humanoid lizard. Like, you remember the Bosk or whatever? Bosk, he was like the reptilian snake-faced creature.
The bounty hunter guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not one of those, but similar to that. You know, like...
Okay, that is kind of morbid then. It is a little different than eating scrambled eggs.
It is a little bit morbid.
Not a little bit, it's a lot different. It's literally a lot more like eating an intelligent baby.
And not only an intelligent baby, but this creature, it's a female, and she's like a newt person, and she's carrying a jar of her own unfertilized eggs off to another planet to reunite with her long lost love. And those eggs are like the last clutch of eggs of this entire species. And Mando comes walking into the back of his ship, and the child's just like tossing one back, eating it. And he's like, no, you can't do that. And they just cover it up. But like, you know, man, with mortality and shit, like one of those things was probably not going to live anyways.
Well, and then he's a baby. As someone with a baby, they do eat everything. Yeah,
man. I don't think anybody had a big problem with it, but the way that you reacted is the way that this writer and then it was like, oh my God, the SJWs are fucking mad. And it's like, wait, who's on the pro-life side of this spectrum? I don't know what's going on.
All the time, like in politics and everything, people will be like, all these people are mad, and they're posting like quotes on Twitter, and you're like, well, that's like a Twitter egg with like 12 followers.
Yeah. Fuck this person.
Some weirdo in his basement is a little pissed off.
Yeah. Fuck that person. Like, whoever that person is, every time, fuck them. Because yes, now all of a sudden we have to cave to the will of the weirdos. Like back in the day, you didn't have to listen to the weirdos. You could just block them out. And all of a sudden they're all on Twitter and we can't tell which ones are which. Like, are you a weirdo or are you a real person? Who knows?
Let's say 99% of people on Twitter are weirdos. Let's just make that very clear.
For sure. 100%. Anyways, Jeremy B. Terrible on Twitter. You guys check me out. All right, well, fuck it. I guess we got one last news story that we're going to briefly touch on, and then we're going to get to the fun stuff because we're hitting the hour mark, and we're going to try to wrap this up in about an hour and a half. That's our normal little time. So before we head out of the Disney world, because that's apparently the world we all live in now and forever, for eternity... it looks like Marvel greenlit a Deadpool 3 with Ryan Reynolds, man. That's something, isn't it?
I think that's the one that you can easily fold into the MCU because of all the fourth wall breaking and making jokes about how the X-Men continuity is all screwed up. He can just make more jokes about it, and now it's makes sense.
Do you bleep and blur and mix him into the MCU, or do you keep him as his own separate entity where he can still not give a fuck?
I think you keep him in his own entity for solo films, but you know he's going to be in the other films, not solo.
I really like the first half of your statement there. I say leave Deadpool as... it used to be 20th Century Fox, and now it's just 20th Century. Like, if you've seen any Fox properties since the merger happened, it's the exact same logo with the fanfare and the spotlight swinging and the dun-dun, dun-dun.
I was going to say 20th Century Disney.
Yeah, I know. 20th Century Mouse or just some crap like that. But no, they just left it 20th Century. And I mean, they can do whatever they want at 20th Century because it doesn't have the Disney actual banner on it. And I like the fact that they're doing that. I like the fact that Family Guy is still allowed to continue on. Not that I've watched Family Guy in fucking years, but the point that they don't have to. What my initial fear was is that everything that Disney got, they were going to let go of anything controversial or anything with teeth, or they were going to try to turn them all into PG-13 properties. And the fact that they're doing an R-rated Deadpool and that Ryan Reynolds is attached is cool. It also, until I see it, I'm not like 100% sold on it.
Well, I think they will do an R-rated one. I also think this is the slow decline. They're not going to just swing the sledgehammer and do everything family-friendly PG-13. They're going to ease you into it.
You think that's where we're headed in general, or in the specific case of Deadpool?
With Marvel, just with Marvel. I do think they'll still make R-rated films. I just think anything with a Marvel attached to it, I don't think it's going to be R-rated.
It's
too much money.
Point.
You know?
Because
like, it just is.
Even if the Disney moniker isn't before it, the red Marvel logo still is.
Yeah. Huh. Marvel, to me, Marvel and Disney, I mean, they are the same, but they really are the same. They make, and I don't make this as a knock to Marvel, people take it as that way, but they make family-friendly, kid-friendly kids films. Like they make family films, you know? And that is what Marvel is. That's the type of films they make.
I really liked when Thor lobbed off fucking Thanos' head in the first 10 minutes of Endgame.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen Endgame?
No, dude, I didn't watch Endgame. I watched half of Infinity, like 30 minutes of Infinity War and turned it off.
Dude, it is insane because, so in the end of Infinity War, Thor comes rolling into Wakanda all juiced up. He's got all this electricity coursing through his body. He's like thunder god mode, and he's hitting the not the hammer but Stormbreaker into the ground, and it's just sending shockwaves that are exploding those creatures by the hundreds. And he's like, "Bring me Thanos!" And he like throws his axe at Thanos, and it hits Thanos in the chest. And Thor walks up to him and starts pushing the axe into his chest and is like, "I just want to watch you die," or whatever. And Thanos starts laughing and is like, "You should have went for the head." So when Thor gets an opportunity in Endgame, this is the very first act of Endgame. They're like, "We know where he's at. We're going to go there. We're going to get the Infinity Stones, and we're going to reverse all this stuff." They find Thanos. His arms all singed up. He's sitting in this little hut all by himself. He's like farming and stuff now, like completely... war days are behind him, and Thor just comes rolling in with the axe and just fucking chops his head off right there. And everybody on the Avengers, dude, they're just like, "Oh my God, like what just happened?"
Killed him.
He just straight up cut his head off, and like you can just, it's crazy, man. But yes, I do agree. They do make family films. Every once in a while, they will push the envelope, do something pretty subversive. But if you think about the history of PG-13 movies, having people's heads cut off isn't all that crazy. Think about how many heads get lobbed over the fence at Helm's Deep in the second Lord of the Rings movie.
Here's the thing. This is why they can get a PG-13 rating. They did not cut a person's head off. They cut an alien's head off.
And you don't see it. You don't see it. You see the head fall to the ground, but you're right.
It's the same thing when, like, why do you think in the original Ninja Turtles they fought in the cartoon they killed a ton of robots?
Yeah.
Because you can't kill a bunch of ninjas.
Yeah.
You know, it's the thing. There's this thing, you see it in video games, you see it in everything. If you're killing aliens, it doesn't count, which makes no sense because if they're intelligent life, it's still intelligent life.
Yeah.
But it's a thing. You can totally bypass that. You can kill aliens, you can kill anything and not necessarily get a R rating.
Yeah, I think you're, to your point, there was the Chitauri at the end of the original Avengers, and then even more egregiously, there was all the Ultron bots in Age of Ultron, where it's like, yeah, you can graphically dismember them and do, show off their power set without actually killing anybody. That was, like, they didn't do that in the X-Men movies, which I feel like if they would have pulled the Sentinels in the first or second X-Men, we could have at least seen Wolverine, like, shredding some stuff.
Well, I mean, even like, because those movies are all PG-13, even the X2, the scene where he's just like chopping up dudes, the actual soldiers, like that's way more intense and pushing the limit than anything Marvel's done.
Man, Winter Soldier is crazy. People are getting shot all over the place in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but they're like henchmen in the background. There's not up close violence, is there?
No. But even in X2, there's no blood, not a drop of blood.
No, there's no blood.
He
but
does
he does
run through everybody. Yeah,
he runs through, like, sticks people to walls.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think that's a valid point, and it also is something that has been addressed a million times. Is that like our priorities are so weird that you can murder as many people as you want to as long as you don't show a titty. Like, it's family entertainment until you show a titty.
So backwards when you think about it. It really is. It's like no nudity, but you can kill thousands of people.
Yeah.
And as long as they're not nameless. If they're nameless, I mean, if they're a character like that Wolverine does in those films, if they were named characters and he did it, that will push the envelope farther.
Yeah.
But by being henchmen, it's stupid. Ratings are so dumb sometimes.
That is a really interesting differentiation too. Like henchman, like whatever that designation is, however that dehumanizes the person. Like, yes, hundreds of henchmen can get shot in a 007 movie and it's not going to change the rating at all. 1 or 100, and it doesn't matter. But then, like, I think Temple of Doom was actually rated PG. And Gremlins, they were like right before the PG-13 rating came out, and Gremlins is more fantasy. Well, they're both fantasy violence, but Gremlins is more like, you know, they're little monsters. They're clearly bad, but then in Indiana Jones, dude gets his heart ripped out while it's still beating. That shit is intense.
Yeah, that's
dude.
pretty extreme.
Yeah.
Ratings are just weird at the end of the day, you know. The fact that if you can push the envelope as much as you can, but if you can get that PG-13, you're going to make way more money.
Yeah. So Ryan Reynolds personally went out and found 2 writers. Their last names are Molino, looks probably French Canadian, and they both wrote for Bob's Burgers. I don't see any other credits for them, but he must have had a good feeling about them. And then plus, as far as like the climate we're in, it's kind of cool to hire like female sister writers as far as headline grabbing. But are you a fan of Bob's Burgers?
Love Bob's Burgers.
I do too, man. I do too.
Did you ever watch Home Movies?
I love home movies, dude.
So I've been a big fan of, like, well, Brendan Small did that, but the main guy, he was the coach, and now Bob. So I've been a fan of them forever because Home Movies is incredible. Everyone who's watching this podcast, watch Home Movies because you guys would enjoy it because it's about kids trying to be filmmakers.
It's so good. I prefer it to Bob's Burgers, but it is definitely cruder animation style. It's almost like Cats. It's got those like squiggle cats, Dr. Katz or whatever, that old show. They've got like squiggly outlines. What's the name of that? Oh, John Benjamin. Yeah. John Benjamin. He voices Bob. He voices Archer. He voices Coach McGurk on fucking home movies.
Still my favorite character of his is Coach McGurk.
Dude, I love that show. Nobody that is watching this has seen it, so we highly recommend that you go watch that. And then my other recommendation that I put on Ian's show the other day, and I don't know if Caleb, if you've even seen this, but it's a British BBC show called Peep Show.
No.
Peep Show is a fucking hilarious comedy. And the thing that makes it, like, if you ask the thing that makes The Office, it's the kind of documentary style where they talk to the cameraman in isolation, and then they did that with Parks and Recreations. That kind of became a format. In Peep Show, you will occasionally see characters through the eyes of characters, and while you're looking through the eyes of the characters, you are hearing their thought process. So that's what makes it Peep Show. It's not like There's a sexual
9 seasons
thing.
Of this.
Dude, it is so good. It is so good.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
Jeremy is the roommate of the main character, and he is so funny. He's like you just got to watch it. Get back with me on that if you do watch an episode of it. I'm sure each episode's 20 minutes long, you know?
Yeah. Because I was like, I've never even heard of this, and it must be somewhat successful. It's 9 seasons.
Yeah. I don't think it ever made the transport. I think a lot of the humor is pretty damn specific to being British, which I actually don't know anything about, and I still enjoyed it. So it's
My wife hates British humor, which is funny because she's from a British colony. So, but she goes, she just thinks it's so boring.
I can see that.
It is. It's very dry.
Does she like Mr. Bean?
Loves Mr. Bean. Everyone loves Mr. Bean, though.
Mr. Bean is not that thing that we're talking about right now. He is not the dry kind of witty comedic like dialogue driven comedy. He's more like the physical,
Ricky Gervais is more that.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And I like Ricky Gervais, but not always. He's pretty fucking smug sometimes, but I do think he's good.
He's very hit or miss, but when he hits, he really hits for me.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we're going to go ahead and transition over to this week's topic. It might take a bit of time. It might take very little time. We're going to see how fun it is, and then we'll go from there. So this is from usefultrivia.com. I've got the questions and multiple choice here in front of me. Me and Caleb are going to work through these together and see how many we can get correct. I don't even know how many there are in here, but it really doesn't matter. It's pretty inconsequential. I didn't make this game of trivia. It's not a terrible movie trivia. It's just some shit I found online. So we'll see how it goes. Question number 1. Where did the first U.S. harvest feast of Thanksgiving take place?
Plymouth Rock.
Okay, was it the Virginia colony, the Plymouth colony, the Roanoke Island, or the Popham colony? You think Plymouth colony? I'm gonna go with you. Yes, it's got to be right. The Plymouth. What is it?
I still want to grab my phone and Google, but no, I am going Plymouth.
I think I just heard a ding. Did you hear that?
No. Oh, here.
Okay, so we got number 1 correct. We're killing this so far. 1 for 1. Question number 2. What Native American was honored at the first Thanksgiving feast? Was it Squanto, Tonto, Geronimo, or Sacagawea?
Sacagawea.
I think so too, because of the coin. Let's see. Motherfucker. Piece of shit.
What was it?
Okay, so it was not Sacagawea. Dude, Geronimo was actually held captive here at Fort Pickens back in the 1600s, I believe, for a couple of years while he was on transport. It would be weird if it was Geronimo. Geronimo is the most popular Indian I know other than Sacagawea. Let's go Geronimo.
Yeah, it has to.
What?
No. It can't be Tonto. Isn't Tonto from like Lone Ranger?
That's what I thought. And then Squanto just sounds like a play on that.
So do Squanto.
Squanto it is.
Yeah.
Squanto was the first Native American honored at the first Thanksgiving feast. Okay. I think Sacagawea is like a place or something. No. She's the Native American lady on the $1 coin that came out.
Oh yeah.
A while ago. Squanto helped the settlers survive in the New World by teaching them how to catch eel and grow corn, as well as serving as their native interpreter. Native American chiefs Massasoit and Samoset, along with 90 of their men, also joined the celebration. Question number 3. What type of meat was served at the first Thanksgiving? I know this one.
Do you actually know it?
Is it venison, buffalo, turkey, or chicken? Yes, I do.
It can't have been turkey. That's just too on the nose.
It's venison.
Yeah, I was gonna say that or buffalo were my guess.
There's no evidence that turkey was eaten at the first Thanksgiving, a 3-day meal shared between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag tribe in 1621. But Pilgrim chronicler Edward Winslow noted in his journal that the Wampanoag guest arrived with an offering of 5 deer. Okay, question number 4. What Christmas song was originally written for Thanksgiving? Was it Little Drummer Boy, Silent Night, Let It Snow, or Jingle Bells?
Silent? No, so what were the options? It was Drummer Boy,
Silent Night, Let It Snow, or Jingle Bells. I think it was what you said.
Silent Night?
I think so,
that's what I'm guessing.
All right, let's see what happens. I'm with you. Motherfucker.
Let It Snow.
Let it snow. Let it snow. That's the song, right?
Yep, that's the only one I can think of.
Let's
see what it is.
It was not Let It Snow. It was not Silent Night. Jingle Bells?
Really?
Jingle Bells was originally composed for children to sing in a Boston Sunday school celebration. It was meant for Thanksgiving season and had no connection to Christmas. That is really weird.
That blows my mind. That would have been the last one I would have picked.
It's so quintessential Christmas, and they even talk about a sleigh in it.
Yeah.
Sleighs on bobtails ring. I don't know. Oh well.
Yeah. To me, that's why I was like Silent Night and like, snowing. Maybe it was snowy season or something.
Yeah. Number 5. What day is the Thanksgiving holiday observed in the United States? Well, duh. Do you know that one?
What day? It's the what third Thursday or whatever?
I think it's the third Thursday. I think it's the...
It's always around the 24th, 25th.
It's the fourth Sunday. All right. Fourth Sunday every November. Canadians observe Thanksgiving on the second Monday in October.
So what? We observe it on
The
Sunday?
fourth. Oh, no. Is that what I said? Shit.
Yeah.
The fourth Thursday in November.
Yeah, I was like, that is wrong.
Dude, this is according to useful trivia. It can't be wrong. Question number 6. What traditional eating utensil was not used at the first Thanksgiving? Knife, fingers, spoon, or fork?
Fork.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Pilgrims ate the first Thanksgiving meal with a knife and a spoon and their fingers. The fork was introduced 10 years later by Governor Winthrop of Massachusetts, but didn't really catch on until the 18th century. Okay.
Yeah, I knew forks came later. That was the only reason I knew that for a fact.
Man, I heard an interesting one the other day. I'm going to probably screw up the actual number, but 102 people set sail for the New World. How many of the 102 made it to Plymouth Rock?
32.
All of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think one died on board, but I think
that's
they
actually
brought
incredible.
their
I was
body
expecting
anyways.
most died.
Yeah, you would think like half of them did, but that's pretty interesting. Okay, how many women Pilgrim arrived to celebrate the first Thanksgiving? 8, 4, 50, and 28. And we're looking at it out of the probably, I think, 102 people that came originally. How many women, was it 8, 4, 50, or 28 celebrated the first Thanksgiving?
50.
Oh, wow. You think half of them were women.
I mean, that's just demographics of the world.
Yeah.
Over half the population is female.
I just don't think they would let that many women on the boat with them.
Very true. Then it's going to be 28.
Okay, let's try 28. Oh, wow.
Try 50.
50? All right.
Ah,
So it was 8 or 4. Holy shit.
that's crazy. These are like fucking Smurfettes.
4. 4 adult women were left in the entire colony.
Crazy.
Holy crap. Of course, they were turned out at the Thanksgiving meal. No, that doesn't say that. Excuse me. 8. How many calories are there in the average Thanksgiving dinner? 4,500, 1,500, 3,000, or 6,000? I think I know where I'm going.
6,000.
Let's see what happens. That's what I was thinking. Fuck.
There's no way. Just stuffing alone.
So, all right, we going 3,000 or 4,500?
45.
According to the Calorie Control Council, the average Thanksgiving dinner contains 4,500 calories. That's 3,000 for the meal itself and another 1,500 for drinks, desserts, and appetizers. Oh, wow, Caleb, this one might be you. Which of the following NFL teams traditionally hosts an annual Thanksgiving Day game? Is it the Giants?
Lions.
Is it the Giants? Is it the Broncos? Is it the Cowboys? Or is it the Steelers? Ooh, I'm going Cowboys.
It's Giants.
Giants, Cowboys. All right, we'll start with Giants.
Oh, then it's Cowboys.
I born in Texas here.
I
That
thought it was always the
Cowboys.
Detroit Lions.
That's why I thought they were going to be one of the multiple choices. Every Thanksgiving Day since 1966.
Really?
All
That's
right.
crazy.
I know we both know this one. Number 10. What was the first department store to hold a Thanksgiving parade?
Macy's.
Yeah, I assume they were the first. We know they're still doing it. Okay. Is it J.C. Penney, Steigers, or Gimbels?
Steigers.
Oh,
Gimbals.
We got one more. All right. The Gimbal Parade, known as the 6ABC Dunkin' Donuts Thanksgiving Parade, was first held in Philly in 1920. All right. Well, I think we... Ooh, there's more. Look at that. What is the day after Thanksgiving known as?
Black Friday.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting... Number 12, what product owes its existence to Thanksgiving? We'll do 20 of these. What product owns its existence to Thanksgiving? Is it the hula hoop, the TV dinner, the recliner, or butter?
TV dinner.
Wow, that would be... All right. Wow, well done, Caleb. 1953, someone at Swanson misjudged the number of frozen turkeys it would sell that Thanksgiving by 26 tons, so they came up with a brilliant plan. Why not slice up the meat and repackage with some trimmings on the side? And so the first TV dinner was born. That's interesting. Number 13, in a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, what does Charlie Brown serve to his friends for Thanksgiving dinner? Chicken, pizza, ice cream, or PB&J sandwiches?
I have no idea. PB&J. I've never seen this.
What? What? Damn, neither do I, apparently. I've seen this thing a million times, too. It's got to be ice cream.
Yeah, I was like, I have no idea. I've never seen it.
Well, that I would recommend. It's like 15 minutes long, and then you can say that you've seen it.
Just to say I've seen it?
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's cute. How fast was the Mayflower? 2 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour?
20?
Yeah, I like that. 10.
10.
What? Okay, it's not 20, it's not 10. It's either 2 or 100 miles per hour.
100.
Dude, let's see. How many days did it take? It would take like 30 days to get from... Dude, if it... Wow. Okay. We're about to screw this up, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, man. 2 miles per hour. That's crazy. Oh, okay. What year did the first U.S. Thanksgiving take place? Was it 1619?
1621.
Holy crap. How'd you know that?
Because I'm smart. No, I just know some random shit.
Wow, good job. All right. Number 16, so 4 more to go. Since at least 1947, what has the U.S. president been presented with on Thanksgiving? I know this one.
I don't know, actually.
What has the U.S. president been presented with on Thanksgiving? Is it candied yams, homemade cranberry sauce, live and dressed turkeys, or stovetop stuffing? I thought it was the turkey for the pardon. So
that was the thing, is the turkey part, and I know about, but that's the only thing I know about.
Let's see if it's a live and a dressed turkey. Yeah. One for the feast, one for the fire. I don't know how to say that, but it's like the whole circle of life at once. The live turkey is traditionally pardoned and lived out the rest of his days on a peaceful farm. Well, good for him. Unfortunately, it's the same one they've been pumping with growth hormones since it was born, so it's not going to be a very long life.
It's not going to have a long life anyway. It's going to die of a heart attack after.
It can't even carry itself around anymore. It's like too heavy for its own legs. How many feathers does a full-grown turkey have? Watch you just crank this one out. Oh, dude, easy. 7,000. Is it 7,000, 3,500, 500, or 10,500? How many feathers does a turkey have? I mean, you can
500?
pluck it. Yeah.
But I don't know, because with birds, then there's that other layer of like fluff. Does those count as individual feathers?
Down? Ooh, that's a good question. Let's go with 500. I like that. Okay.
Then it has to be the real high one.
10,500?
Yeah.
Oh
no.
Let's go 3,500. The National Turkey Federation said it's estimated that they have about 3,500 feathers at maturity. All right. Number 18. This is 3 more to go. What American company invented the, quote, traditional Thanksgiving green bean casserole? I know this one.
I don't know, but whoever it is, I'm grateful for that.
Is it Campbell's, Kraft, Tyson or Hormel?
I'm going Campbell's.
It's got to be, right? That's what I was
It has to
thinking.
be Campbell.
Yeah. They're like, get you a can of green beans, get you a can of cream of mushroom.
Dude, I love green bean casserole.
Do they make...
My wife... Huh?
Do they make the onion straws? Is that Campbell's onion straws? Because if so, they got the
all
whole
that too.
thing. Yeah. Your wife doesn't like it?
No, she makes the most incredible green bean casserole, and she's working this Thanksgiving, so I'm super sad.
Wow. What does
So
she
no
do different?
green casserole. Huh?
She just knows how to mix the cans real well?
No, she uses fresh green beans.
Okay.
That's what she does. I don't know. And then like she fries bacon and makes it like fries it up in bacon fat. Dude, it's incredible. It's next level.
There's this catering company called Nancy's Hot Affair that is I don't know, a half a mile from here. They mostly do like event catering, but right now they're doing like a blue plate special for $9.99 where you get Thanksgiving turkey and stuffing and your choice of 3 sides and cranberry sauce. And we got it yesterday, and one of the sides was green bean almondine, and I'd never had that before, but it was really good, dude.
Dude, green beans in general are just incredible.
They are. I like fresh green beans though, like when they got a little snap in them still.
Yeah, no, that's why like when she makes it fresh, it's so much better.
Oh, dude, I've never seen an episode of Friends, and I know the answer to this question. Which character on the TV show Friends once got his/her head stuck in a turkey?
That's Joey.
It's got to be fucking... Who else would it be?
I know. I love Friends. You've never seen Friends?
Never seen an episode of Friends.
Dude, Friends is incredible.
Really?
But you have to watch it in order, like a true sitcom. Like, because I liked it always, like, oh, it's fun. Until I went back and watched it in order. It's incredible.
Okay. Who's
I
your
say
favorite
better than
character?
Seinfeld. Huh?
What? Who's your favorite character?
Ross is definitely more the main character, but I love Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler was always my favorite too. Makes sense.
Maybe because I'm always a sarcastic asshole.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's see. What U.S. company, this is the final question, for all the marbles, this is going to decide whether we go home winners or losers. I'm at home, so are you. So pretty much we're guaranteed to stay at home as losers. But number 20, what U.S. company sells the most turkeys for Thanksgiving? Is it Genio, Foster Farms, Oscar Mayer?
It gotta be Butterball, right?
It's either Butterball or Genio, but I'm going with you. I think Butterball. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say those were my 2 guesses too. I'm like, it has to be one of those 2.
Man, the National Turkey Federation really holding it down with all of the turkey information that you need.
Do you know who made it a national holiday?
Who made Thanksgiving a national holiday?
I think it was Ulysses S. Grant.
Nah. It was Abraham Lincoln. Freed the slaves and made Thanksgiving, bro.
I don't think that's how that happened.
I mean, probably not the same day, but no, for sure. He was the first president that recognized Thanksgiving. Made it, okay, maybe you're right. President Lincoln was the first person that acknowledged it as a national holiday.
And then it was what? Roosevelt moved it a week ahead? It used to be a week out?
I didn't know that. That's more good trivia.
I think so. I could just be making all this shit up.
We got a minute. Let's see what's going on here. I'm not editing it because I'm not editing anything in this podcast. Even the whole jive turkey conversation at the beginning, unfortunately, has to stay in.
So it says Abraham Lincoln. I know something. There's something to do with Ulysses S. Grant. I know there is.
Grant. It was Lincoln though that turned it into a national holiday.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, dude. He deserved his name on more than the penny. He got it on the $5 bill, and I say that's a win. That dude, he was the good one.
Oh, I know what it was. So Ulysses S. Grant chose the 3rd Thursday for Thanksgiving. That's what it was.
Okay.
Then what did Roosevelt do? Because Roosevelt did something too. Why do I know this random shit?
I think it's debatable that you know it.
So he issued a presidential proclamation moving Thanksgiving to the 2nd to last Thursday of November.
Okay, and then homeboy came behind him and was like, no. Ulysses S. Grant came in behind him and was like, we're doing it on the 3rd Thursday.
No, it was Grant and what's it called? Because Roosevelt was post-Grant, right?
I thought.
Yeah.
But now we celebrated on the 3rd Thursday.
Well, trivia just said it was the 4th Thursday.
Oh, yeah. No. You're right. That's what it is.
So FDR was the one who made it a truly national holiday. Okay.
And then what did Lincoln do?
he recognized it, but FDR proclaims Thanksgiving a national holiday. So it's FDR, Ulysses S. Grant, and Abraham all did shit for it.
All right. Well, that's cool. I like Thanksgiving. Big fan of the holiday. Yeah.
Which we need to talk about some Christmas movies in the next upcoming month after I had to sit through all your horror films.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Absolutely. We will dedicate a good 10 minutes.
Sit through them. I love horror films.
We'll dedicate 10 minutes out of the final podcast
to Christmas films.
Yeah.
We should highlight one every week. Make you watch an extra one.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
So before we head out, favorite Thanksgiving movie?
Okay. I've got another before we head out question. I like yours, though. Yours is actually much more related to what we do here. Mine was way more random. Favorite Thanksgiving movie? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Dutch.
I don't know that I've ever seen Dutch.
Dude.
What is Dutch?
Dude.
I mean, you're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator, right?
That's exactly okay, it's with I can never think of his name. God, he's the guy from
Andy?
Married with Children.
Oh, okay.
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill, yeah.
Yeah, and Ethan Embry is the kid in it.
Ethan Embry is so good, dude.
Oh, dude, it's about this guy who's dating this girl, and her son is this really asshole rich kid. Who's at a boarding school, and so she can't go pick him up over Thanksgiving, so her new boyfriend drives across the country to pick him up and flies out to pick him up and then drives back, and it's about the road trip back for Thanksgiving and how they hate each other the entire time.
Yeah, I will definitely be watching that. I'll watch that
Dutch
either
is
tonight
incredible.
or something tomorrow maybe. It's directed by a guy named Peter Fairman. However, the music was composed by Alan Silvestri and the screenplay was written by the motherfucking man himself, John Hughes.
It's one of those things like it's super campy and everything, but it's a Thanksgiving movie.
I think I already know your answer to my question is what's your favorite Thanksgiving side?
Oh, well, yeah, mine's going to be green bean casserole.
I didn't know if it was stuffing or green bean casserole, but green bean casserole is a good choice. You know, I've got the weirdest, by far the strangest. I probably am if you Family Feud surveyed 100 people, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side? I would be the one person that said cranberry sauce.
So back home, what we do is we put red chili on turkey.
Oh, really?
And not like hot dog chili, like actual red chili.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because we make like a red chili sauce back home.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's incredible.
Shoby's working tomorrow. Are you going to get yourself some Thanksgiving food?
I've debated on it, but I'm like, I don't really want to cook a turkey just for me because my daughter can't eat it yet.
Yeah. Is there not a place close to you that can make your food for you? I'm about to go on to like Grubhub.
I'm sure there is, dude. I'm right in the city. I'm sure there's stuff everywhere.
All right, man. All right. I'm just trying to look out for you, bro. I don't want you to spend Thanksgiving without green bean casserole.
I'll order a pizza.
Yeah, there you go. Last year for Thanksgiving, that's so that last for Thanksgiving, but you could sound traditional. Like everything about it was screaming, "I'm not traditional Thanksgiving." So I was mad in the first place. I'm like, "What the fuck are we going to a place called Fazoli's for Thanksgiving dinner?" Or what? I don't think that's what it was called. Whatever it was called. And my wife and my mom are like, you're just being a tit. You're being a big baby. We're going to get the Thanksgiving thing. You get whatever you want. I'm like, I guess I'm going to get a margarita pizza. So I ate pizza for Thanksgiving last year, and their food was incredible, dude. It was so good.
That's like one year my wife wanted to make ham for Thanksgiving, and I had a fucking crybaby fit about it. I'm like, we are not fucking eating ham. We need that on Christmas.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah. Thanksgiving for bird, Christmas for pork. That's the way it goes.
So Christmas we make chicken enchiladas that's what we make. Yeah. So we make green chili chicken enchiladas for Christmas every year.
Dang, that sounds good, man.
Dude, they're dank, man. They're so good.
All right, Caleb. Well, Happy Thanksgiving to you, man. This has been
Happy
fun.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
to you. Happy Thanksgiving to anyone who's still with us at this point after we talked about fighting for like half the podcast.
Yeah, guys, let us know how you did in our Thanksgiving trivia. Let us know how many of those you got right versus how many you got wrong. And make sure that you check out Patreon. Consider helping some folks out. We could use the help. We are continuing to grow, but it takes your help and your support. But that said, 2020 has been a very complicated and volatile year in some ways, but all of you have helped make it somehow a little bit more bearable. So thank you very much for hanging out, stopping by, talking movies with us, all of that stuff. It really does mean a lot. Look down in the description. I will post links to social media as well as our Teespring page, Terrible Apparel, where you can take a look at merchandise from coffee mugs to t-shirts to hoodies, just all sorts of cool shit that could either make a good gift or you could guilt somebody else into buying it for you as a gift. Just check it out. We'll have links for all that stuff down in the description. And most importantly, until next time, on behalf of both Caleb and myself, be terrible.